What do you think about the argument that it would, create a even more of a disadvantage for the people left behind?
It wouldn't be a disadvantage for the people left behind, because if they care enough and if the school's not passing, and if they have enough gumption about them, or the parents have enough gumption about them to move them to a school that is passing, and they have the money to do it, so be it. And for everybody else, life is what it is. Not everybody's going to be successful in life. Not everybody's going to be rich in life, and that's the way God designed it. He didn't make it for everybody to be wealthy.
Okay. What do you think, staying with the school issue here for a moment, you see things happening like, and we talked about, for example, federal money, mandates coming down. I know here in Virginia we've just had a bunch of teachers losing their jobs or shutting schools down. You see the school system in Georgia, firing all of its teachers. You see Rhode Island did the same thing. Do you think that that's an appropriate measure if something, for example, the school in Rhode Island was the worst performing school in the state? It had 7% passing marks in math for 11th graders, things like that. Do you feel like that's an appropriate method for handling the situation with, say, a very poorly performing school?
Well, on any type of school that's on the bottom, I would say you need to get your highest educated teachers, your highest performing teachers, put them in that school. Give them a pay raise for taking it if the school turns around. Give them 1 year. If those grades go rocking through the roof, we're going to give you a bonus system. Give something for them to work for. There's no reason, once these teachers tenured, that's half the problem. They don't have to do anything from that point on, because there's no chance of them ever getting fired. But yet there's no bonus system. So why put in the extra effort to get the kids performing well? So there's other ways to skin the cat without throwing the whole thing out the window.
So I take it you're not in favor of a tenure system?
No.
One of the things that we hear about is, our First Lady is coming out with her big core issue. I know Laura Bush's was the ability to read. And President Obama's wife, Michelle, coming out with obesity as her core issue, childhood obesity. What do you see as a solution to childhood obesity? Should the government be, involved in childhood obesity? What do you feel about that situation?
No, it's the parent's responsibility. The government needs to get out of our lives. If the parent wants to go to McDonald's and feed them McDonald's 3 times a day, that's their choice. If the parent wants to make sure they're in activities and they're running and they're exercising and they're eating healthy, that's our choice. It all comes down to choice. God gave us the inherent ability to give us choices in life. I don't know why the government can't do the same.
Okay. All right. Well, another question I have, and I think anybody who reads my website or listens to my show knows that I'm a big proponent of nuclear energy, and I don't hide that at all. What do you think about something like nuclear energy as a solution to some of our energy problems?
Honestly, I haven't researched that enough, to be quite frank with you, to give you an educated answer on that, because it's not something that we're faced with here in Alabama. Our energy prices are some of the lowest in the country. The Alabama power companies and all the co-ops have done a really good job of using dams and other sources in Alabama, so it's just something that hadn't popped up on me and I haven't researched.
Okay. Well, I can certainly appreciate that. And, of course, I noticed that you were an NRA member.
Yes.
So I would assume that gun rights is certainly not a debatable issue for you.
Yeah, I love my guns. Don't say anything else. Love my guns.
Love your guns. Gotcha. Well, now, I guess one of my questions is we see things happening out there, pardon me, like where you see the government banning the use of, say, nativity scene on government property. I guess my question is if we're going to ban government or ban a religion in government, should we ban all religion in government?
Yeah, we can't just see that. That's a hard one. I'm a Christian. I'm a Baptist, independent Baptist Christian. Without a doubt, I believe in Jesus. I'm born again. I know where I'm going. But at the same point, should the government be involved in politics, in Christianity, in any type of religion? I would say no. They need to stay out of it.
Okay.
Because what happens if what's happening to England right now with a huge influx of Muslims trying to take over that country? What would happen if that happened to America all of a sudden? And all of a sudden we had a huge influx of Muslims, and we know what they're after. They're after world domination. Then we would still be protected, and they couldn't come and make us start praying 5 times a day or cut our heads off. So that has a two-edged sword. One, yes, we need the nativity scenes. That's our base. That's what our country is founded on. But on the second, if it ever changes hands, and it can, I mean, God can pull out of this country like he's done other countries. There's no guarantee that we'll be a Christian nation 100 years from now. The Christians that are left behind need to be protected.
Okay. How about there's a lot being made of climate change, and I know that we're gonna be speaking about something on the EPA here after our interview. You know, the EPA stepping in and doing all sorts of new regulations because they can't get a bill passed. And you were talking about your auto factories and things like that, which is going to have a direct impact on the auto industry with their new gasoline,
right. Emissions.
Their new emission standards. What do you feel about the federal government being able to step in and do something like that? Do you feel like there's any way to protect the auto industry in Alabama from something like that?
That's going to be a tough haul to do because the government needs to step out. It's just another way to tax us and to get more money and more control. There's really no good scientific proof, and I know a lot of people are going to go nuts when I say this, but there's no good, true scientific proof on global warming. Somebody told me the other day, said, only God has to have a huge sense of humor if you take Kennedy's seat to stop health care and dump snow on all 50 states the same day to stop global warming. God's got to have a sense of humor. He did that all in the same day. The global warming, that's just a way to tax us, period. It's just a simple way to get more money out of our pockets and put more money into the elite pockets. We've got to stop it.
Okay. What do you feel about it? And this goes for the state level as well as, any other level out there. You have, and one of the things that I feel that is going on out there in a lot of cases is you've got folks who actually have interest in a company, who are part of a government system. And I'm not saying that everybody should be like the Federal Reserve Director who has to divest himself of everything. But should there be a law on state or federal level saying that people should recuse themselves from votes that they have a conflict of interest with?
I would say yes. I'm on the city council here in town, in our city of Prattville, Alabama. Anytime there's anything coming up that would be questionable, concerning the business, I try to stay away from it. But at the same time, they still need to fight for it. You got to fight for what you believe in. It would be like me saying, okay, I'm a business owner, so I'm not going to fight for any law helping a business. That's why business owners need to be involved in this thing so they can fight